Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Leland Baptist, and today we're going to talk about the difference between a foreclosure and something that is foreclosed on. Basically, the foreclosure process and post-foreclosure process, okay? Oftentimes what happens is that people kind of get confused between a house that is foreclosed on, or a property that's foreclosed on, a home that's foreclosed on, an account that has been closed or foreclosed on, versus an account or a property or a home that is in the foreclosure process, okay? They're two different things, right? So we're gonna talk about the difference and how you will know whether you are in the foreclosure process and or if your home has been foreclosed on, okay? Two different things, and it's very important that you do not confuse the two, okay? So first and foremost, we're gonna start off with the foreclosure, all right? The foreclosure process. This may often be referred to as something that is pre-foreclosed, okay? The reason I don't necessarily want to use the word pre-foreclosed is because the moment that something is foreclosed on, it's not necessarily considered a foreclosure. We'll kind of go on that on this part, but it's not considered a foreclosure once something is foreclosed on. What is actually considered is either a home that is for auction, or a home that has been repossessed by a bank, which is considered an REO, okay, real estate owned property by a bank. So first and foremost, foreclosure. You will know if you're in a foreclosure based on your state, okay? So based on your state, you're either gonna be in a judicial or non-judicial process. And to sum that up as quickly as possible, a judicial process simply means that you are having to go through a court proceeding for the foreclosure. And non-judicial means that the lender, the bank, can bypass the court process and pursue you in a quicker time frame, okay? Number two, in a foreclosure process, you have various opportunities and various options, okay? So whatever that time frame is, whether you are in a judicial state or a non-judicial state, you wanna make sure that you are utilizing your time and that opportunity and your options valuable, okay? You don't want to waste or squander that time because it can be very detrimental to you. Speaking of time frames, the foreclosure process, it has a mapped out time frame. So whether you are going to see a judge or whether you are dealing with an attorney, whatever else, there is a designated time frame on when the judge or the lender is looking to take possession of that property, or they're looking to sell the account, okay? They have an actual time frame for that. Sometimes it's the end of the year, other times it's the end of the quarter, sometimes it'll be the end of the month. And so what you wanna do is you wanna reach out to your lender, reach out to that attorney, and find out what is your time frame for getting that loan back on track, or saving your home, or finding out what other options or exit strategy you have available, okay? And the fourth thing that's really important with the foreclosure process is that it gives you, the homeowner, as much control as possible. It's giving you an allotted period of time to figure out what can you do to put yourself or the loan back on track, okay? That's the point of the foreclosure process. It's because if not, what would happen is that the lender could possibly take the home back immediately, right? And that's not what they want to do. The lender wants you to keep the home as long as possible. They want you to come together with some type of options or some type of plan to where that loan can be cured, it can be put back on track, or possibly refinanced, sold, et cetera, okay? Now, as many of you guys know, we give you guys, upon request, you guys ask for it, we give you guys a booklet of 10 different options you can use, which is very, very important when it comes to anyone who is in the foreclosure process, okay? Now, here's something that's very important. Let's talk about a foreclosed home, all right? You will know if your home has been foreclosed on when you receive either something in the mail or a knock on the door from the sheriff, okay? And that is not to be taken lightly. What will happen is that the sheriff will let you know that either someone has purchased your property at an auction, okay? And they're gonna give you about 24 hours, sometimes in some cases 48 hours to move, but normally it's 24 hours to move and to basically evacuate, all right? In the event that they come back and a new owner comes and they see that you guys are still living in the house and as if nothing happened, then everyone on site could and can be arrested, okay, for trespassing. All right, so I call this that 24-hour or 48-hour saving grace. Now, with all auctions, what typically happens is they're gonna send you a letter and they're gonna tell you that your property will be placed on the auction sale, right? And they'll have a designated date for that. So let's say it's the 15th of January, okay? So 15th of January shows up and you still technically have time up until the 15th of January, 24 hours, to go ahead and either put that loan back on track or to sell that property, et cetera, okay? Without having to worry about it going to a sheriff's sale, all right? So you have basically up until, normally for different counties, about 9 a.m. the day of the sheriff's sale to basically stop it, okay? So I call that the saving grace. When a property is foreclosed on, which means after the sheriff's sale has taken place, the property will be foreclosed on, and at that point, this is where the most damage can take place, okay? Most damage. And what I mean by that is, what typically happens if you owe, let's say, $50,000 on your home, what's going to happen is that when they foreclose on your home, they're going to charge you for all the additional fees. They're going to charge you for your penalties, interest, lawyer fees normally for judicial states, and a few other things as well. So on your credit, it's not just going to show that loan you owe to Wells Fargo. It's going to show that loan you owe to Wells Fargo plus all those different things associated with it, okay? So that's why I'm saying by this time, it's gonna do the most damage. In addition to that, it will normally stay on your credit for about 7 years, okay? And if you're looking to acquire another property, if sometimes even if you're looking to rent somewhere else, it can really, really hurt you in the process. When you're renting, they will do background checks, and one thing that they'll notice, they'll come across is missed payments, okay? And normally those missed payments will lead up to your foreclosure, okay? So that will send your credit for 7 years. So real quick, to review, there are two important things to know about a foreclosure or foreclosure process and a home that is foreclosed on, okay? In the foreclosure process, you have an allotted amount of time to work out different options, to use different opportunities, to stay out of foreclosure. Once the home is foreclosed upon, you really only have about 24 to 48 hours to really stop the foreclosure process, okay? So once again, if you all are looking to stop your particular foreclosure, please reach out to us. We will give you guys the 10 options booklet. You can go through that. You can speak with one of our consultants, and you guys can kind of go over those options, see what works best for you, okay? But one thing you don't want to do, especially if you're in a non-judicial state, is you do not want to squander that time, okay? Because once that time is gone, there's really nothing you can do, okay? So please, 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 please do your research, understand what state you are in, and make sure that you guys make the right decision. Do not waste your time with this, guys. Please don't. I understand, talking to a lot of you guys that you may feel depressed, you may feel overwhelmed, you may feel mistreated, betrayed, all those different emotions that can come along with a foreclosure or foreclosure process. But if you don't be proactive, if you don't take control of that situation, if you allow that situation to control you, what's going to happen is that you're going to find yourself on the back end of a foreclosure and it's going to be too late to do anything. And you don't want to do that. Okay, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be there and the sheriff knocks on the door and they tell you have 24 hours to evacuate. You don't want to have that happen to you. Okay. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and let us know, and we will see you all in the next video. Thanks.